All right, Albeez for Sheez. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you showing up here on Off the Record.
Glad I could be here, man. Thank you for having me, man. It's
Absolutely,
been a long time coming, man.
it absolutely has. As one of the I guess biggest names here in Colorado hip hop would be the simplest way to put it. It's a pleasure to have you on here. You're looking absolutely beautiful and healthy and
Man, thank you.
wonderful.
Came with the silver color. I'm trying to get the hair to match the shirt. We out here. I'm
That's
almost Gandalf.
that's experience from what
Yes.
what I was told. That's
Yes.
experience.
'Cause
Okay.
this is every time I did a show.
Hey, so you see that as a veteran right there. We're gonna jump right into it. Want to kind of get into the basically what is talent versus hustle to you. I know that there is a big difference between the two and how they're used,
Yeah.
especially in today's music scene. So tell me, what is the difference between talent versus hustle?
You know how people always ask for advice, and they're like, "Hey, man, if you can give artists advice, what advice would you give them?" That is the number one thing that I would say, and I tell them every time: talent versus hustle. Some people can hustle their way all the way to the top, but you get all the way to the top and don't got that talent, it's gonna show. And a lot of people have gotten there. Some people have hustled their way up there, and you can see it. They've hustled their way to the top, and hustle is through the roof, but no talent. And there's some of the most talented people that everybody knows don't got no hustle. Some of my three favorite rappers are like people I've heard rap for me in the streets. And I'm like, why y'all ain't doing nothing? They're like, man, it's just whatever. I'm just, I gotta get this money, or they be on some other stuff. But I'm like, the most talented people don't be doing nothing.
Okay.
And so to the talent versus the hustle, somebody with all the talent and no hustle, and then somebody with all the hustle and no talent, which one is going to exceed? You know what I mean?
Okay.
I guess circumstances arise to make it. You don't know what could happen.
Right.
But there's a lot of people don't never think about that. Everybody just purely thinks about the hustle. Everybody I've ran across only thinks about hustle. Nobody even thinks about talent or even taking singing classes no more, singing lessons. Everybody auto tunes. You know what I mean? Instead of going and see a real singing teacher, you know what I mean? Or take some singing notes, lessons. That's a perfect example of that. You know what I mean?
Can you teach one or the other?
Can you teach talent? No. Can you teach hustle? Yes.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about how you could possibly teach a little bit of hustle. Give us one example. Say I'm a new up and coming artist, and you were looking to give just a very vital piece of advice. What would you have to say?
When it comes to the hustle, I mean, everybody's eyes work. Everybody has emulated their favorites in one way or another. You might not do it exact to the T, but everybody has a little bit of something where they came from. You know what I mean? Look inside their pot. I call it their melting pot. Look inside their melting pot and see what's in there. You look inside my melting pot. I listen to a lot of West Coast music, but I was born in Chicago, Illinois. So between the music from back home where I was born versus the music that I like and I grew up on and listened to, you can hear that in my melting pot of the music. Because so many people have referred me or say this sounds like this, or I think you're like E40 or Tech Nine. Or I've heard Slim Thug. I've heard like so many different people that people have referred one of my songs to as an artist because of all that melting pot that's inside of me. But that's my hustle. That's where I learned. Your hustle comes from where you learn and it works for you. If you do something and it doesn't work for you, you can't use that as your hustle. That's not successful. So it has to be something that works. And if you have that and you learn from it, you usually learn from people that you like or people that you look up to, that you admire, or I need that too. So once you have that, I need that too, and that's inside everybody's melting pot. I don't care what you say or not. You can say you're as original as you want to be. A lot of people are very creative and do come up with things, but it still comes from somewhere, and it comes from inside your melting pot, where you're from, your area, your culture, the people around you, who raised you, all that stuff. That's my favorite one. Who raised you?
Okay, with that in mind, I think that kind of gives us the perfect way to kind of go into the many hats of Albeez.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the many hats and the hustle of Albeez for Sheez.
Oh man, a lot of the things that I ended up doing, I started to do because I didn't know where to get them from, and I know I needed them. I didn't know where to buy no music video from, so I bought a camera and just started doing stuff and editing it myself. I got a couple of my first videos that are trash, bro. I don't know what I was doing, where I was at. I might show them to the people later. I don't know. You know, I keep them in the files, but I don't want to try to do something and not do it my best. You know what I mean? And I knew I lacked the knowledge of some of this stuff, even looking for it and not being able to find it. So I started doing research. Once you start doing research and you're looking for things, people do that. That's actually like secretarial work. That's also a hat that you can have somebody else doing, as you can be the artist. But I had to do that myself, so I started looking up stuff to help me get the videos done. I started looking up how to get the music out to the people, because after I was done and had a whole bunch of albums in my garage, I'm like, I want people to hear this. Got to figure out how to get shows. That makes you a booking agent. Once you're able to book shows and then you're getting music to the people, then you have to go perform. Once you go perform and you start doing sound checks, and then you got to figure out your lights, and if you want backgrounds and anything of that, that's called a stage director, a stage management, or a program director, depending on where you're performing at. People get paid for that at MTV all the time. There's people that direct the movie awards, and when the people perform, when you get the set, you got to talk to the program director, the stage director. 2 Chainz don't just go up there and just do what he want to do. He talks to the people and gets a set and tells them. They come up with ideas with the program director. So people don't do that here. People just go on stage and just talk and just rap. And to have you do that, like, that don't make no sense. So I started doing all of this stuff, not knowing what it was called, but knowing I needed it to happen for me, because this is what I need to be Albeez. I know that I need to take my stuff to the next level. And me, as a person, I'm animated, even a little diabolical sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I watch too many movies. But that helps with everything when I got to move around and I got to keep going and I got to keep pushing. And a lot of people don't do that, to at least stay creative, to be like, I need this. But are you going to do it yourself, or are you at least going to research it to figure out who can do it for you? Because everybody has a job, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody that can do the job you're looking for.